All righty, everybody. Where's that button? There it is. Hi there, Carson Meredith with you. Oh, my shot's a little dark. Hang on. There we go. How you doing? Hope you're having a good Saturday so far. It is March 8th, 2025. It is 7:01 p.m. Like I said, hope you've had a good weekend so far. Hope you enjoyed the sunshine. There's plenty more of it on the way if you couldn't get outside today. And we got some warmer temperatures to enjoy as well. So that's the main focus in the short term. There's really not much happening, to be honest with you. Over the next few days, the bigger story will be the warm up and maybe near records. We get towards the middle of next week. We'll talk about that. And then, of course, we'll give you the early look at our new alert date for next Saturday. I don't want to be that guy to spoil the party when it comes to the nice weather we have until then, but it's just something we'll have to watch over the next 7 days. So with that, let's go outside. Let's go to Bardstown. Nice evening down there for our friends in Nelson County. Hope everything is good. Traffic humming along. A lot of folks out today, understandably so. Let me show you a quick sunset shot of Louisville, shall we? Nice view. Some clouds are filtering in tonight, as expected. And that's because there's a system that will largely stay to our south tonight, giving most of our friends along the Gulf Coast some soaking rain, a little bit of snow in Oklahoma tonight. Yeah, that's not an issue for us. Sorry, snow lovers. But the cloud cover from that system is what's going to stream into our area tonight. And we might have these clouds holding tough into tomorrow morning before we eventually see those clouds leave. And we have a good bit of sunshine for the rest of the day. Tomorrow, outside right now, it is 47 here in Louisville. We got up to 54 today. Pretty typical early March day today. It was a little breezy, especially earlier in the day. A cool breeze since that wind's still out of the north, but that will change as the week goes on. Here's the big picture across the southern U.S. I mentioned that system causing all kinds of issues, not in Oklahoma just yet, so I misspoke there a second ago, but it's in the Texas Panhandle. Is that widespread snow? Y'all ever been to Amarillo or Lubbock, Texas? They're getting a good thumping of snow tonight. That'll move into Oklahoma, and then here at home, excuse me, we've got some of the leading edge of the clouds. See that right in there? Near St. Louis and Paducah. Those clouds will kind of sneak into our area tonight while the rain goes east. So no rain in our forecast tonight, no rain in our forecast tomorrow. There is zero rain in our forecast through Wednesday. And quite honestly, I think a lot of you stay dry until that alert day system comes in next Saturday. So all of that mess stays south. The only thing we'll see will be clouds. Let's go to the comments. Who's watching tonight? Anita's always watching. Appreciate you. Glad I can help with this beautiful day that we had. This is when I like being the messenger. Angela, hope you're well. Such a nice day. Was able to break out the sandals and the short sleeve shirt. Yeah, it was definitely a nice day. And a lot of us are going to be breaking out the t-shirts and shorts next week. Got a string of 70s on the way. Storm Chaser Jason says, hope I've had a good Saturday. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Appreciate you watching, Jason. Carrie says, will you still come on at 7 tomorrow morning after the time change, or will it be an hour later? No, I'll be here around 7 o'clock tomorrow night as well. So yeah, don't forget, we all lose an hour of sleep tonight. So if you're up early with me on Sunrise tomorrow morning on TV, and I sound like a bumbling fool, it's because I lost an hour of my nap later on tonight. But don't forget to spring forward. Yes, this is the time change. We lose the sleep, but it is also the time change, my friends, where we have that sunset later in the evening. So the sunset tonight, I believe officially was 6:43, something like that. Tomorrow's sunset is 7:44. So more daylight in the evening. That's really the main reason this still exists, to be honest with you. You know, we can have a big debate about whether we should be on daylight time or standard time. If you have any thoughts in the comments, let me know. Just be nice to each other. I really don't think there's a good option either way, a good alternate option. So I'm afraid we're stuck with what we have for a while. But anyway, don't forget to spring forward tonight before you go to bed, 1 hour. Also, I always like to remind folks of this because, we're doing different things. Not a bad night to check your smoke detector batteries around the house. While you're changing the clocks, check the batteries just in case. The NOAA weather radio batteries as well. Check those. We're getting closer and closer to our primary severe weather season. Tonight, obviously, we're springing forward. We got a few clouds filtering in like we talked about. Otherwise, it's chilly. It is going to be a chilly night. It's going to be more of that filtered cloud cover. So that's still going to allow the temperatures to drop into the 30s for most of us tonight. I'll call it 36 here in the city. Those of you that live outside of town might be around 32, 33, 34. So a chilly start to the day on Sunday. However, we warm things up nicely into the low 60s Sunday afternoon. Not too bad. That wind will be out of the west and southwest tomorrow, and it will be a lighter wind, but it will still be enough to push those temperatures into the 60s. Very nice day on the way tomorrow. And obviously with the later sunset tomorrow night, that means we got a later sunrise in the morning. That sunrise officially here in Louisville isn't until 8:02 tomorrow morning. So again, it's always a trade-off with these time changes, one way or the other. So later sunsets means later sunrises too. Karen's watching us from Elizabeth, Indiana, just across the Ohio. Hope you're well. Nathan wants another winter storm. Well, like Brian said yesterday, I don't think snow talk is done yet, but it's getting close to the end. And I don't see a blockbuster winter storm in the cards at this point. There's a system around the first day of spring, March 20th, that we got to watch for maybe some wraparound snow. But even then, looking at that today, it's not overly impressive. But the signal's still there, so we'll keep an eye on it. But otherwise, I don't see much more snow on the way this season. Kayla says, hey, from Salem. Let's see who else is watching. Cynthia's in Lexington, Indiana. Jennifer says hi. Laura says hi from New Albany. Olivia says hey from LaGrange. Let's see. Faith is ready for the warmth. Let's talk about that warmth. Why don't we? That's why a lot of you want to be here tonight. 70s. Lots of 70s. The warm-ups we've had so far have only been a day or two, right? But now we're talking about a pretty extended stretch of 70s, okay? We got the first signals on this last weekend, I remember, and it looked like a string of 60s. Now we're talking about a string of 70s, and some of those 70s next week will be close to records. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday of next week here in Louisville will be the days that we're on record watch. I will say I think a lot of these records will fall short at this point, but it still gives you an idea of just how unusually warm this is going to be for the second week of March. We've had these warm-ups in March. We always do, but not many of them get close to records. So Tuesday's forecast high temperature is 76. The blue boxes are our forecast. The red boxes are the records. So Tuesday, 76. The record is 80. That record's likely safe. Wednesday, I've knocked down the high temperature a smidge, but still close to the record. I think if we're going to break any records or tie records next week, it's going to be Wednesday. High of 77. Record high is 78. So very, very close for Wednesday. Friday's forecast of 78 will also likely fall short, but still get close to that record of 82, which was just set 1 year ago in 2024. So we'll call it near record warmth for a few days next week, but there will be a lot of sunshine to go around that you can enjoy over those 3 days as well. So enjoy it. Ashley, I feel like we literally just went back an hour. Now we're springing forward. It got here fast. Did it ever? It took forever, but it also didn't take forever. It's time is a weird thing, you know what I'm saying? It always feels that way. Carrie wants standard time all year. See, a lot of people are kind of shifting towards that. And I don't mind that necessarily, because if you think about it, well, I guess the thing with standard time would be in the summer, the sunrises would be a little later. But if you're on daylight time in the winter, you wake up on Christmas morning, you're not going to see the sunrise until 9 a.m. Close to it. So that's kind of why I'm hesitant to go on daylight time all year round. The time that we're about to go into. I'm starting to feel more like we need to stay on standard time, but who knows what the powers that be will decide about that? Probably nothing, but you never know. Weather Geek says this time tomorrow. It won't be this time tomorrow. That's right. That is exactly right. In fact, the clock in our studios is, our Wave Weather Now studio already says 8:12, so I'm a little confused already. Braden makes a good point. If we're awake after the time change, technically you don't lose an hour's sleep. That is true. That is true. Let's see. This is very true, Angela. Convincing my German Shepherd that daylight saving time is a thing is a challenge for a few days. I could say the same thing about my furball. She will not have the slightest clue what the heck is going on tomorrow morning. So interesting discussion. It always will be. And we'll see if anything ever changes. Vicky watching us in DuPont, Indiana. Hello, Vicky. Margaret watching us in Marion County. We appreciate it. Braden asked if we can get to 80 in some spots next week. I'm not going to rule it out. Excuse me. I'm not going to rule it out, but I will say it looks more like mid-70s. This is a very good setup to where our temperatures overachieve. And that means that the models are saying 71, 72 for highs when we wind up actually seeing highs around 76, 77, 78. Big reason why, there's two big reasons why this time of year. One, dry air. Temperatures can fluctuate rather quickly during drier air, or when we have dry air in place. And also the breeze will be out of the south, and that'll just keep on pumping in some of that warmer air. As we go through next week. All right. Anita says, you mentioned rain next weekend. How about storms? Let's jump into it, Anita. We're going to segue into our alert day for next Saturday. Look, I've already seen comments on Facebook tonight saying, oh, you ruined the warm-up, the sunshine for next week. Come on. Come on now. This is nothing for you to panic about 7 days out. I think a lot of folks think we do alert days as a fear tactic, which could not be further from the truth. We do it as a way to inform you, to get your attention that, hey, next Saturday could be a rocky weather day. So pay attention over the next few days. So go enjoy the sunshine. Go enjoy the warm temperatures we got on the way. It's nice and quiet for the most part until next Saturday. And we've got plenty of time to nail down all the details with this alert day. But here's where things stand right now. This system is, I don't want to say identical because no system is ever identical to another, but it's kind of similar to what we had Tuesday night and Wednesday in the sense that the main issue is going to be the wind. This low pressure, the parent low pressure with this system is going to be incredibly strong. And when you have an incredibly strong low pressure, like we're going to have next Saturday, rolling through the country, forget just us, the whole country is going to deal with this in all likelihood. That's when you get gusty winds. So I really think gusty winds is the main issue at this time. And we're talking 40, maybe 50 mile per hour gust, non-thunderstorm gust, okay? In addition, somebody nearby is going to see a lot of rain because as the low pressure with this system moves further away from the cold front loses its force. It loses its push to get a move on. So somewhere the cold front's going to stall. And we have to figure out where and when that front is going to stall. When that front stalls and where it stalls will also determine our risk for severe storms. Right now, it looks like the greatest severe storm risk is going to be west of us Friday night, but that can change. If the front slows down a little bit, we might have severe storms of our own on Saturday. But if it's a little faster, then our main focus would be heavy rain and wind. The bottom line is we still have a lot of specific details that we need to iron out with this system next Saturday. But we wanted to give you that early heads up, especially being a weekend with a lot of things happening now that we're starting to get into the warmer months. We wanted to give you that early heads up that next Saturday could be a little dicey weather-wise. That's all the alert days are designed to do. No fear-mongering, as somebody on Facebook wanted to suggest earlier. Okay, here's Futurecast. This is the European model, all right? Note the time here at the top of the screen. See that banner at the top? It says 8:30 a.m. Saturday. The European is much faster than the GFS. It has become considerably faster today. Now, that could work in our favor in wave country in the sense that the cold front doesn't really lose its force. It doesn't lose its push until it gets to the I-75 corridor in eastern Kentucky and into Ohio. If that's the case, we'll have a wet start. We'll have maybe a few storms around early in the day on Saturday. Then we may get a little break. And then as we warm things up Saturday with that cold front nearby, we may have another round of storms that develop Saturday afternoon. But the key is, even if we do see storms, if that front stalls further east of us on Saturday, then the heaviest rain would stay east of us, which would not be a good thing for our friends in eastern Kentucky who are still recovering from the flooding back in February. But it would help to limit the flooding risk here in our area. However, the GFS is much slower with this cold front. It has the front Saturday morning at this time that you see, 8:30 a.m. Saturday morning. It's basically got the front stopped, whatever, west of us, out near Evansville, Hopkinsville, Jackson, Tennessee. So that would open the door for two things. One, severe storm Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, as the front moves through during the warmest part of the day. And also for heavy rain and potential flooding over our area as opposed to being further to the east. So if you're looking for the better solution next Saturday that kind of lowers our impacts, you want to have the Euro that's faster moving through our area and it doesn't stall out until it gets east of us. The GFS stalls out before it gets here, stalls out the front before it gets here, and that's when things could become a little rocky or more rocky as we head towards Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. Now, the arrival time of this system is still in flux as a result. The European obviously has this arriving Saturday morning, whereas the GFS has it a little quicker, getting nearby Friday night, but then stalling out nearby. So a lot of puzzle pieces still have to be put into place with this system. Just know that wherever this front stalls out, and it's going to be somewhere nearby, There's going to be a band of 2 to 4 inches of rain. So we'll have to watch that. I think everybody's going to see gusty winds wherever the front stalls out. 40, 50 miles per hour is a good bet. So that in and of itself looks to be the biggest issue, is the gusty winds. But somewhere nearby is going to get heavy rain. Could be us. Still trying to figure out exactly where that heaviest rain axis is going to be. And then the speed of the front will also decide if we have severe storms to deal with on Saturday. So highest confidence in wind, medium confidence in heavy rain, low confidence in severe storms. Those are the threats: wind, heavy rain, storms at this stage of the game. What questions do we have? Let's see. Kathy says, bring on the pollen with these warmer temps. I don't want the pollen. No. No, thank you. Bryce says, poor spring blooming plants are going to think it's April. Yes, they are. Use caution for anything that you have that blooms or is going to bloom early next week, because I don't think we're done with cold nights, especially. We'll have frost advisories and freeze warnings, I'm sure, heading into April. Cameron says GFS has the better chance for severe weather. Do you agree? The Euro's still trying to decide. I always like to lean with the Euro just at this stage of the game, 7 days out from any kind of event, because the European model has higher resolution, which means the map I'm showing you looks cleaner. It's so hard to say how this is going to go speed-wise until we really get this thing close to the U.S., until we get it closer to the lower 48. So that's kind of why I did the alert day for all day Saturday as opposed to Saturday morning versus Saturday night, because that could shift. If it winds up the GFS is right and this is a Friday night issue, a Friday night into Saturday morning, we'll back it up a little bit. If it's going to be like the European, a little slower, then we'll go Saturday evening. So just kind of getting that initial heads up out there, right? Let's see. Will this low pressure be stronger than the one we had earlier this week? Yes, it will, Braden, for sure. This is going to be a very strong system, a very dynamic system that sweeps through the central and eastern U.S., likely going to see a good thumping of snow up towards the Dakotas and Nebraska, maybe into Minnesota as well next weekend. Kathy says, is one model more accurate than the other? A lot of the models, you don't want to take any of them to gospel 7 days out, because obviously the further you go out, the less accurate they become. So you just look for trends this far out. You look at what the models are suggesting might happen, and then you see how that clarity develops in the days leading up to the event, right? So is one more accurate than the other? Not necessarily. Not a lot of them are great 7 days out, but you're looking for trends at this point. Anita asked, power outages on Saturday. I'm not going to rule it out. I don't think we have widespread issues to worry about. It would be a deal where you have a tree limb falling on a power line and it knocks down the power line. Sporadic, isolated outages. Now, something that might raise that risk a little bit is if we end up with the heavy rain. If the heavy rain is not west, it's not east, it's right on top of us, then I could see the ground becoming too saturated, some trees actually start to fall, then you could have more power issues. But I really think any power outages will be sporadic, very isolated. Most of us will be fine. Lori asks, is snow coming in after this storm? It does not appear so. It does not appear to be a snow issue for us at this point. It will get cooler once the system moves out, but not cold enough to give us snow. There's some gardening advice from Susan. I'm not a gardener. Surprise, surprise, right? But yeah, just be mindful of stuff that blooms early. It might have some trouble heading into April. Severe confidence doesn't seem super high on Saturday, but Friday, Brandon, spot on. It does look a little rough west of us on Friday. And that's the thing is, if this cold front arrives slowly, well, if it arrives Saturday morning, like the Euro suggests, we're not really going to have to worry about a ton of severe storms. It would mainly just be the heavy rain and wind, non-storm winds. But if it's faster, like the GFS suggests, then we could have some problems. It's kind of opposite of what you usually think. It's very strange, the timing. You have to figure out, one, when do the storms arrive? And two, how long does it take for the storms to get through? So there's a couple different timing components in play here. Patty's asking about the severe weather level risk. We don't have any risk at this time, which is good. We don't have any risk at this time. Scott's asking about any spin-up tornado potential. Hard to say at this point. Too early. We'll have a lot of wind shear. So we'll have a ton of wind energy, but it's too early to say if that would mean any tornado issues. I don't think it's going to be a huge tornado outbreak at all. I do not think it's going to be anything like that for us. So, all right. I think we're all good in the comments. So let's talk about, and I'll roll through Futurecast here. Saturday evening, according to the European, heaviest rain moving east, but we could still have a few storms develop. Likely not severe. And see how that front just stalls out. This is what I'm talking about, guys. Look how it just stalls out in eastern Kentucky Saturday night. Where this thing stalls out is going to decide the heavy rain risk. European says it's going to be east of us. GFS has the heaviest rain just west of us. And that is a 200-mile difference. That's big. That's very big 7 days out. So not surprising. Long ways to go. But that difference is going to play a big role in the heavy rain concern. And also when the heaviest rain falls, too. The heavy rain falls earlier in the day, it limits the severe weather threat. The heavy rain falls later in the day, there might be a window for severe storms earlier in the day. So a lot of puzzle pieces that we still got to work out here. But you do notice something that I can say with a decent bit of confidence is Sunday of next week looks drier. So this does not look to be like a system that lingers for days on end. I think by next Sunday, most of this nonsense will be getting a move on. Here's a new map that we don't really show a lot. It's from the Climate Prediction Center in DC. I think they're in DC or near DC. And it's kind of a general, if you've ever seen our 14-day temperature outlooks that suggest if it's going to be warmer than normal or colder than normal, this is something similar, but it's focused on heavy rain. And you notice right over Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, this dark green is a high risk for heavy rain. Technically, this is for March 16th through March 22nd, but they give you that range to say, hey, over the next 2 weeks, this is where we're going to see heavy rain, right? Most of this rain is going to fall with the system next Saturday. And this is why I think, in addition to the gusty winds, heavy rain is going to be the biggest issue, the second big issue, if you will. So there's a high risk for some heavier rain with this system next weekend. We just have to figure out where that heaviest rain is going to fall. How much heavy rain will we see? And how does the timing affect our severe weather risk? And those are some puzzle pieces that we still have to figure out. But this is definitely a time that we have to keep our eye on things. Here's the 10-day. nothing to worry about until next Saturday. It looks great. Reminder for my friends in Indiana, you have your tornado drill on Tuesday morning. We all have the time change tonight. 62 tomorrow, 68 Monday. Starting Tuesday, we're in the 70s. Likely hovering in the mid-70s Tuesday through Friday. Very, very nice stretch of weather. There was still let me talk for a second. Sorry. There is a system that we're still watching for Thursday. It looks to continue to trend south, and it doesn't have much precipitation with it. We'll keep a few showers in the forecast Thursday, just a 20% chance. But a lot of you will likely not see another drop of rain until next Saturday. So go enjoy the sunshine. Go enjoy the warm temperatures. Don't fret about next Saturday just yet. Don't worry about it. We're watching it. We're watching it for you so you guys can enjoy the sunshine and the warmer temperatures, okay? But as we get closer, we'll start to have a really good idea of how it's all going to play out. Just giving you that earliest alert that you need to pay attention to next Saturday, especially being a weekend with a lot of us out and about. Any last minute comments before we go? Let's see. Modeling question from Cameron. Could the high-res models pick up the missing pieces of the GFS and Euro? Yes, they will pick up some of those pieces. Will they agree? Could it be to the west? Will it actually be in our region? That's what we still have to figure out. Again, I'm hopeful we'll get some better cohesion or better agreement as to where the heaviest rain is going to fall, where the severe weather threat might be in the next few days. Likely, we get a better idea, hopefully by Tuesday or Wednesday. So we got a while. We got a while to figure it out. But yeah, we'll get the high resolution models will help us a ton. And then hopefully the GFS and European in particular start to get in better agreement too. Stronger low pressure would mean higher wind gusts, correct? In general. Yeah, in general. When the stronger a low pressure is, the sharper the pressure gradient is, which is the difference in air pressure in the atmosphere. And the tighter that pressure gradient is, the windier it is. I don't even know if windier is a word. If it's not, I made it up. But the tighter the pressure gradient is in the atmosphere, the more windy it becomes. Good question. All right, guys. That's going to do it for tonight. Appreciate you watching as always. If you missed anything, give it a couple minutes. Facebook, Twitter, whatever platform you're on, and the video will pop right back up so you can replay it anytime you wish. We will see you again on the TV side of things tonight at 11. I'll be on TV tomorrow morning on Sunrise. Hopefully, I've already asked one of my coworkers to call me, make sure I'm awake. So I'm here for the show tomorrow morning. And I'll be back here on Wave Weather Now around 7 or 7:30 tomorrow night. So enjoy the sunshine, enjoy the warmer temperatures. Don't worry about next Saturday just yet. We worry about it so you do not have to worry about it yourselves. Go enjoy the sunshine. Go enjoy those warmer temperatures we got on the way. That's it for now, guys. Talk to you soon.